Good morning, Hampton Roads. How's everybody doing today? And welcome to Virginia's only local real estate investing podcast, where we get to talk about local investors, local deals, and all things local. I'm your host, the founder of the Master Investor Academy, and author of my best-selling book, Work Just Gets in the Way of Making Money, Scott Jelinek. If you guys have any questions, concerns, comments, properties you'd like to sell, things you'd like to discuss, go ahead and text me at 757-699-4227. That's 757-699-4227. So it is a beautiful rainy Tuesday morning. And today, actually, I have my meeting with my local coaching students this evening, as well as my national coaching students. We're going to be streamed in. So if that's you, keep in mind, 6 o'clock tonight in our private Facebook group, make sure you log on. And it'll be a live meeting that you're actually able to interact with, ask questions, and also see everything we have going on. It has been a really, really busy time right now. The market is kind of getting crazy, even for, it's been really crazy for retail, but even for us investors, we had one of our guys just closed a deal yesterday for $33,000. We have a deal that closed on Friday, should be picking up his check today for $15,000. I know I spoke with one of my guys last night that he's got his deal assigned, but it didn't close yet for, I think it's $30,000 or $35,000. I mean, you guys are absolutely crushing it, and slow flips are pouring in. We got more and more coming on board now, which is fantastic. I think we got like another 6 under contract within the group just this past week. So, I mean, it's absolutely on fire right now. You guys are killing it. You're doing great, and just keep up the good work. So what I wanted to talk about today was a question that gets asked of me oftentimes. I mean, people ask me in person when they see me. People send me text. I get comments on YouTube. And people always ask the same question. They're like, Scott, why do you even do this? Like tonight, for instance, I have a meeting tonight. So I was preparing for it yesterday, trying to come up with my agenda. And so people are like, what do you do? I said, well, I got to prepare for this meeting. And people are like, well, why do you even do this anymore? We don't need any new money. We have enough, we have properties that are free and clear. My whole life is free and clear. So we don't need to be doing anything extra, right? So I just want to lay the foundation or the groundwork for what I'm telling you here. We don't need to do anything extra, yet I still go on buy call appointments to buy more houses, right? I still buy new slow flips. I'm still wholesaling houses. I still go on appointments with my coaching partners. I still raise private money for my coaching partners. So I'm constantly still working. I did an event maybe, what was it, last weekend? I did a live 2-day event. That's a lot of work when you put on an event. So the question always comes down to why are you still doing this? Why do you keep doing it? And I'm going to answer it for you, but it's something that I want you to actually think about. So first off, I'm going to go all the way back. And this was probably about 5 years ago. I'm in the limousine on my way to Dover, Delaware, to a casino with a couple of friends that are in the business with me, and one of them's a lender, and he was an older guy. I think at the time, he's passed away now. He was either 90 or 91, and I remember talking in the car. Mind you, he's on his iPad in the car, and he's trading Netflix stock, and he was doing something. It was a big day for Netflix. And then he was talking about he had 2 new houses, new construction houses he was working on, and buying a rental, still buying a rental. He's 90 years old. He might have been 91, still buying another rental. And so it brought up the question for me, and I've repeated this 100 times ever since that conversation, because we always had in our head that, once we get to this point, once we get to a certain level, then I'm done, right? If I can just get 10 grand a month, 50 grand a month, 100 grand a month, whatever that number may be, now I'm free and I'm just done, right? And what does done mean? Oh, I'm just going to sit in the backyard or sit on a beach. And so as I'm watching him, what he was doing that day, and we're talking about all the deals he's in the middle of at 90 years old, mind you, and he's got tens of millions of dollars. I don't know how much money he had, but he was a lender that lent a lot, has a bunch of properties free and clear. So I asked him the question, and I said, when's enough enough? I said, when do you stop? When, how much do you need? When is this over? When do you stop doing this? And I loved his answer, and I remember it to this day, and I'm always repeating it. And it's kind of what we live by now. And so what he said was, he said, never. He said, this is who we are. This is what we do. He says, we will never stop doing this. This is who we are. And I remember the way he explained it to me. And I always remember it, because I remember thinking, I'm like, you're right. He's up at that age and active and still involved, and because of that's who he is. If he was to have stopped when he was, say, 70, likely he wouldn't have even made it to 90s, because you lose your purpose. And so his answer was, he says, never. This is what we do. This is who I am. And he was that way up until the very end. He's still doing deals. He was still lending, still buying rentals, still working on his investments. Not that he needed any more money, not that he needed anything. It was just part of who he is. And so it led me way back then to start thinking about, what is my purpose? What is it exactly that I do? Now, I do the same thing. I have a ton of properties. I still wholesale. I still lend. And I teach and I train and I work with, I work differently than if you've ever seen these guys online. I work very differently with our people because I personally work with them. And so we have a very, very significant higher level of success. So then I tried to clarify, well, then what is exactly my purpose? Why is it that, what is my purpose? Why is it that I'm still doing this? Why am I still working? And what I came up with, what my purpose is, what I love, what I enjoy, why I'm even doing this. People even ask me, they're like, well, why do you do the YouTube channel? I don't make any money there. Why do you do the podcast? Why do you do this stuff? Because we're not doing it for money. And I realize the reason is it's for the purpose to inspire and motivate people toward financial freedom. That's it. The more people that we can inspire and motivate, make an impact on their lives toward financial freedom, the more whole that I feel. So the more people that I get to touch, and I know exactly how that's why I tell you guys, click the like button, comment, let me know. The reason I ask you that is because I want to know that you're out there and that we are having an impact on you. I love when I get people randomly text me. Sometimes people I've never even spoken to randomly text me a photo of a check and say, hey, I closed the deal after I watched this video that, you taught how to do X, Y, or Z. I went out and did it, and now I just got a check. I have guys that I've never met, didn't participate in my coaching program, but ran with the slow flip strategy. And they'll tell me, they'll text me from time to time and they'll be like, oh, I have 6 properties now. I have 7. Oh, I just paid off my first one. I just paid off my first 2, and how much their life has changed just from 1 or 2 being paid off. And that alone is the reason. That is the purpose. That is why we keep doing this. And so, because I get that question a lot, and it just happened yesterday. Somebody asked me, and because I was talking about I'm preparing for this meeting, I got to come up with my my video, and I got to get my podcast set and all this stuff. And then they're looking at me and they're like, "Why are you doing this? What is the purpose here? Why are you doing this?" And I remember right away thinking with clarity, I said, I know why I do it. I do it for you. I do it for the people that do get touched, inspired, motivated, and changed, their lives changed, their whole trajectory of their future changed. That is why I do it. I absolutely love that more than anything. When I have somebody, and it doesn't mean that they were a mess before they got me, they could have been great, but I love when somebody took their life to the next level. And there's a direct relation to either something they learned or from the personal coaching or something that they read. It could have been that they read my book and that inspired them, whatever it may be, but something that I did or said or worked with them to impact their lives, to take it to the next level. And that's it. That is the reason why, even when money is not a concern, or we're not making any money off of doing these little things we do, that we're not making more money by it, but we do it for the purpose to inspire and motivate you to take your life to the next level toward financial freedom. That's it. Once you get financial freedom, that's when you can truly understand it, when it makes all the difference in the world. People talk about it all the time, but until you get to live a week, a month, a year with zero concern for money is the only time you'll actually really understand it. And then what are you going to do? You're not going to sit home and do nothing. Then you're going to be able to do what it is that motivates you, what inspires you, when it's no longer about the money. You don't need to make more. You still are going to, but that's when you get to make the decision on what you're about, what inspires you, what motivates you. And so that's what it is for me. My whole purpose is to inspire and motivate you guys toward financial freedom. And each time someone sends me a text, a check, a comment, a house that they just paid off, or whatever changes they've made in their lives, that's what motivates me to keep doing it. That's all I got for you guys today. I just want to take a second to share that with you. Do something today that your future self is going to thank you for. I look forward to seeing you on the next one. If you have not done so already, subscribe to this channel. And guys, if you're listening to this on the podcast, take 2 seconds and leave a review. I see on there, I went on there this morning, and I think there's only 8 reviews. And I've had a lot of people tell me that they've left reviews, and I don't know if they're getting screened out or what's going on with them, but I haven't seen them show up. So if you are listening on the podcast, just take a minute when you're done and go down and leave a review. I would greatly appreciate it. And I will see you guys tomorrow. Have an absolutely fantastic